Hello, guys, gals, and non-binary pals, and welcome to the Fae Realm. Uh, we're back with some more Midnight in the Garden of Chrome and Fog, and all of us are a little bit nervous about what in the heck is going to happen. Uh, yeah. Over to you, Sam, for a moment.
A syringe, in the hands of a medical professional and trusted friend, is yet a syringe. And the drug that it holds, emptying now into GlitchAngle's arm, is Madeline, the key to the past. GlitchAngle, the world around you fades as you descend down the rabbit hole of your own mind into the secrets of the past, secrets whose implications reverberate through the present day. Glitch, will you roll me a d6, please, and also tell me what you are focusing on?
I am currently focusing on the memory that I recovered of Dr. Nguyen in my parents' house. That's the only point and the song. Specifically, I think I'm following the sound of the song into this memory because that has been so pervasive for me. And I rolled a 6.
Nice. You are in this memory for 6 hours as you enter into the palace of your mind, hearing the song echo down the hallways of memory, the years streaming backwards past you. You land in yourself. Yourself as you remember yourself to be at the age of maybe 4 years old, in the playroom in the attic of your house. When I say attic, it's a two-story playroom connected by a slide. In the summer, the slide turns into a water slide. At the top floor, you've got a little merry-go-round. Imagine the music playing now. You can hear, you can see the robot, the sort of nanny bot that kept an eye on what was happening in this playroom, and nanny bot that later in your life you realize might have been repurposed from other activities and become a nanny bot for your home. You can see the VR tech generations worth of toys, and you can see Dr. Nguyen putting an injection into your heart. You feel that injection flowing upwards and downwards in your body, your back, your belly, through your throat to the crown of your head. Despite where that injection was applied, you feel good. Uh, you remember your 4 year old body feeling good after this injection. The feeling like not unlike a pleasant itch under your skin, but a warmth to that. And that song, as always, that song, Dr. Nguyen humming it or singing it to you. I'm going to tell you other things that exist in this memory, but you're going to be here for 6 hours. I want to ask you too, are there things that you're focusing on, right? Your 4 year old body was focusing on play, and like after this injection, you were allowed to run around the room and basically do whatever you wanted. But your adult mind now can focus wherever you want to focus within the context of this room.
Are there any So this is my parents' house. I'm in my parents' attic. Are there
That's right.
any toys that are here now in this memory that aren't there after the next cut in a couple of years?
Hmm. There is one, and you become aware of this as your 4 year old self starts to play with it. Um, you're remembering dimly now that this was a gift that showed up at around the same time as Dr. Nguyen showed up in your life, and it's finger paint. You are playing with the finger paint in the way that children do. A lot of it is ending up on your body. As much of it you are wearing as is on the paper that you are ostensibly supposed to be finger painting on. You're drawing what? What would 4 year old you be smirching onto the paper with this finger paint?
I think I was really into unicorns at this point. Like she was 100% a horse girl, but specifically a magical horse girl.
Nice. Yeah, you're drawing out unicorns and reds and greens and blues. It looks like the finger paints that you have, it's not a very robust set, like just a couple of very basic colors. But as a 4 year old, that doesn't matter to you. You're smearing them over the paper, you're smearing it over yourself. just enjoying the sort of pleasant buzz of having recently had your injection. Something strange happens in this memory. Something strange, which did not seem strange to you at the time, but now does, which is somewhere as you're smearing these paints around, you sort of like are going towards another toy. You back up. It's a two-story playroom. You fall down the stairs. That's not strange. That's a normal kid thing. Uh, in this memory, you land perfectly on your feet. You do not feel any pain from the fall, tumble down the stairs. You don't even like dust yourself off. You just walk through the lower level of the playroom, grab whatever you want to grab down there, and make your way, as a child would, back up the slide.
I fell down a full flight of stairs and got up without a bruise.
Not a bruise.
Yeah,
And
that's
to be
definitely.
clear, when you say got up, you landed. I don't say you landed like Spider-Man. That's too dramatic. But like you landed perfectly on your feet, as if you had just taken the bottom step.
Huh. I think I do like I like stare into that memory and just hold on to that for a little bit because my dexterity on my current character sheet would not allow for that sort of shenanigan. So
No, not at all. And like even like the dexterity of a normal 4-year-old child, right?
yeah.
Like this is certainly something else.
So my immediate thought is that so soon after the injection, these things are working overtime in my body and firing off all kinds of interesting, weird synapses.
Is there anything else? I don't know how long it takes you before you start becoming claustrophobic in this 4-year-old body that you cannot leave. I don't know if Glitch you've recognized yet that you're trapped in this memory. Before that starts hitting, is there anything else you want to direct your focus to here in the past?
Are there any adults nearby?
Yeah, as you try to like strain your ears, I think, or like strain 4-year-old you's ears, you can hear Dr. Nguyen having a quiet conversation with probably your parents, sort of out of sight of you down the stairs a little bit towards the main body of the house, not in the attic. Not a conversation that was for your ears necessarily, but not one that they're trying to keep too quiet. After all, it's adult talk, not a thing that a 4-year-old would be listening to.
True. So what does adult me gather from this conversation?
A couple of things. One is going to require you to make me a vibes check. What do I want? I want a notice roll. I want a wisdom notice roll.
Wisdom notice. That is a straight roll for me. Okay. That's a 7.
It's hard to get a sense of exactly why or what's going on subtextually just listening around the corner, but you do get the sense that your parents in this conversation are cordial to Dr. Nguyen, but don't like particularly like him. You have a lot of experience of your parents speaking to people who they consider as peers and people who they consider as inferiors.
The help.
And you think that he's in that latter category.
They consider him
He
to be
is.
here, someone who's here doing a service for them, but they don't consider that he's anywhere near their equal.
That sounds something like right, yeah. He's saying something along the lines of, she's got natural talent. Maybe she'll work for us at Ecosodine one day, developing new applications. But your parents are very like deferring that away, like not saying yes or no, just being like sure, sure, yeah, absolutely, and like trying to steer him out of the room and not really talking about that anymore.
Okay. I think my last question is when I am paying attention to the finger paints, sometimes those sorts of things come with like examples ostensibly for the children, but they're really it's for the adults that they're being handed to. Are there any patterns that were painted or drawn onto those sorts of papers that stick with me or like vibe something in my head?
Interesting. The finger paints, now that you look at them, like there are certainly brands of toys, mostly out of business now. The sort of visceral experience of finger paints, even in the 2050s when this would have been taking place, was going out of style. Now in the 2070s, no one's making physical toys for kids anymore. Get a VR headset on them when they're 4 years old, get them into virtual space. There's no reality in the play of children. But even for this time when fingerprints would have been manufactured, uh, there is no there's no there's no brand on it. Like the
Hmm.
finger paints that you're seeing here seem like bespoke or homemade. They're in little jars. Um, so there's nothing particular. There's no examples with these. And the consistency is kind of strange for finger paint as well, at least to your adult mind.
Is it more like the ink that was in the vial that was in the briefcase as far as like
Yeah,
consistency?
I'd hate to describe this finger paint as henna-like, but now that you are looking at and to be clear, the thing in the vial is also henna-like. It is not like explicitly henna,
Sure.
but it does seem to have a lot more in common with that than the sort of finger points you would imagine most children would be playing with.
Okay. I think now is when I start to realize that I'm a lot smaller than I have been in a long time, and that's not comfortable.
Yeah, and like to be a child is to experience unremitting horror to a certain extent.
It's
To
true.
live in a world which nothing really makes sense, in which things are for you, but the vast majority of things aren't you. And as time passes, as the minutes go into hours, you recognize, yeah, you're caught in this memory. There is no place for you to go. You are not in control of the body that you are presently inhabiting, and the body is doing like dumb kid shit. Uh, I'm wondering if you want to make me like a mental saving throw, or like how you're trying to cope with the fact that you are essentially trapped for like 5 hours beyond where you really want to be in here.
I think a mental saving throw is appropriate, if only because um, Glitch does not do well with the sense of being trapped. So, yes. If I can actually access anything right now. Come on. There we are. That's a d20,
Yes, and you're trying to roll higher than your mental saving throw number.
which is a 9. Nope.
That was an 8 for those of you following along at home.
Barely, but nope.
Yeah. So you can't react. Your body can't react. And dimly you can experience, Glitch, that your body is still feeling great. The pleasant buzz of this. But your mind, you feel this like fracturing, this like inability to control your movements as the kid you just continues doing the same actions over and over again, maybe like puts on a screen and starts watching the same episode of something over and over again. Like as that's happening, as you're trying, how are you trying to ground yourself first of all?
I think that that trapped in this memory, the first impulse is that stupid song that is constantly running through my head. But that also causes me as an adult distress. And there's that
Uh-huh.
weird clashing of where the adult mind and the child mind are meeting with that stupid fucking song. Um, so there's that moment of like trying to use that instinctively in this body in this time, and then realizing what exactly is going on, and like trying to just like recite mentally the names of her friends, pulling up those faces that she would have not known in this time because they either weren't born or they would all have been considered not even the help in this particular house.
Right. And like as you're trying to conjure up the faces of your friends, like you're butting against the sense memories of the brain that you're inhabiting. Like those faces are either becoming like distended into like child faces, like the friends that you have now, or like you're picturing them as adults impossibly tall beyond you, unable to like relate to you in any meaningful way. You're trying to hyperventilate, your body can't do it. The robotic nanny is staring down at you. And when you eventually, 5 hours later, Eve, you can see this is happening. Her real body is like beginning to breathe heavily. Her real body is beginning to like go through a reaction to this drug that she's on. What are you doing, Eve, right now?
Uh, I know that her senses are completely in this memory. I was going to look at Madeline again. I don't know if uh relive some while remaining oblivious to their physical surroundings. Okay. Um, I can't really do much other than try and give her a sedative, but I don't think I have ever babysat someone on Madeline before. So this is new to me. Um, I think I'm taking her wrists and kind of rubbing them, um, just encouraging her. I know she can't hear me, but encouraging her to breathe. Um, trying to I don't I didn't ask her. I warned her that she could be in this memory for 6 hours. So I think I'm just gonna like be next to her physically. If she starts to go into respiratory distress or anything else health-wise happening, then I will give her something, but I think I'm just gonna let her write it out.
Okay, yeah, she
Yeah.
remains stable, at least physiologically. And 6 hours later, Glitch, you come out of it. You are shunted back through the halls of memory into your present day body. For at least a couple of days in game, I reserve the right to apply to you, Glitch, an anti bite. A roll 3d6, keep lowest to.
Yeah, yeah, that makes sense.
But you wake up and you see Eve over you, attending to you.
There is a immediate, like, violent reaction, not to Eve, but like violently rolling away and like hit the ground. Just finally, all of the screams that I've been trying to let out, all of the sobs that I've been trying to get out in the last 5 fucking hours, finally all come out.
Okay. Feet on the floor. Feel the floor. Breathe. Yell if you need to, that's fine.
I was 4. I was 4 and they shot a needle into my heart.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. That's not a fun thing to experience.
But it felt good, and then I was little and I was stuck and everything was enormous and everyone was God damn it. God damn it. And like her nails are digging into the palms of her hand and she's trying to ground herself with like forearms pressed into the like whole body pressing into the ground like like it's a lifeline.
Okay. Um, look around the room. What are 5 things that you can see?
She kind of, after like 5 very, very shaky breaths, she peels her eyes open and kind of turns her head. I like your shoes.
Thank you.
Good shoes. Sturdy and pretty.
Mm-hmm. Good.
kind of cast around. Hi, Remy. Okay. I think that's a pillow on the other side over there. It's kind of a weird lump at the moment, but bed. That's the bed. Bed, couch. I don't remember.
Bed.
And kind of look down at my own hands. That's gonna leave a mark. Cause you see little like crescents of blood around her nails.
Okay, yeah. Let's not do that. I'm gonna start take some disinfectant out of my bag and start tending to that. 4 things you can touch, dear.
Your hand touching mine. That's gauze that you're using to clean. I can feel my socks. They're very warm right now.
Good.
And my hair itches.
Okay.
Is this what drugs do? Why do people do this?
And Eve, yeah, as you tend to the wound and talk about the reasonableness of drugs, let's take from there into a recap of last session, and we'll see where we go forward with this new information. Glitch, what's going on in this world?
So much, too much, everything. Last time on Dragon Ball Z, sorry, didn't mean to make you snort your drink there, Cal. Right. Previously, and I think that this is from a vlog that Glitch would have made right before all of this. Just her own, like, private vlog diary thing. She's sitting in front of her computer, knees drawn up to her chest, just not even looking into the camera, just quietly talking. So it looks like it worked with Vail. Eve was able to get someone, a surgeon friend of theirs, to come and work on them, on Vail. And they said that it worked. It's gonna take them a while to heal, but in the midst of all of this bullshit, there's actually some hope, I think. Which is good. I miss Vail. I don't know if they'd ever believe that I do, but you know, here we are. Yeah, Laura and Eve, the people who actually like know people and get shit done around here. It's pretty great. Getting that, and Van Vail had with their connections and their dad, and we got the briefcase open. It's been hovering on the edge of thought for the last, month and a half now. And there were a bunch of papers in there, a bunch of records. And there was a vial of something that reminded me of henna ink, but isn't henna ink. I did almost drink it because I so viscerally wanted it to be part of me, but fortunately cooler heads prevailed there. And I guess it's something that I can maybe paint with. I'm kind of vaguely remembering enjoying painting once upon a time. Although, who the hell knows? I've got all these mental blocks, which leads into the very next thing. Yeah, we're gonna be taking that Madeline. And I have no idea what's there. I have no idea what's going to happen. And then hopefully we're going to... Eve doesn't want to. Eve really does not want to go back out to the labs there at what I guess used to be Cal, but... Or is Cal, or... it was always kind of outside of my range of knowledge. It's where all the smart people were, and I was certainly not that. But we're gonna, we think that that the research that has to do with me, possibly Lorelai's brother, which, Jesus, and a bunch of other people going missing that may have been experimented on. We think that a lot of that information is out there, so that's on the plans after whatever happens with Madeline. And she just kind of sits there, like, absently twirling a pencil through her fingers over and over again. It's kind of a stim that she's picked up recently. Yeah. Guess I'll report back when I know more. Reaches out and hits the stop record button.
And the past gives way to the present, with all the avenues of the future stretching out ahead of you. It is hot in terms of heat, but it is cool in the area of the Silicon, the free state of Silicon. The fog continues to glower down across the city. I imagine there is going to be a group meeting fairly soon with the new information you've gained and with some planning going forward. But I do want to swing around, as always, to Lore, Abe, and Vailish and ask if there's any extracurricular activities that you are trying to get done before the group meets up and tries to put together a plan of what's next. Abe, I see an extracurricular activity.
I believe there is a shopping episode promised to a certain old man over here. Right? So
Are you going out or are you giving Lore a shopping list? Or are you going together?
we're going to get what the fuck? We're going together. We're best.
I don't know why that
now.
didn't cross my mind. Absolutely.
He would know what he needed. I'm gonna ask some people for some Z's, just in case.
Like some people, like some party members, people.
Yeah. No, I'm gonna go shake down this guy I know for some Z's.
I mean, Ren explicitly has an ability that does that. If you told me that you wanted to go out and like spend 3 days shaking down people, I'd probably give you some Z's and add some enemies to your list of enemies.
I will toss in. Let's see. Okay. Will 1,000 Z's be enough? 2,000? How much do you need?
I'm sure 1,000 will do fine. I'm hoping that we don't blow my whole money.
No. I'm not. Abe's not
Can
going
I-
to take advantage. Yeah.
Can I give you 1,500 and have you pick up some pharmaceuticals for me?
Sure.
Okay.
Ray, I assume you've picked out some things that you're looking for?
No, I haven't. But
Ray.
No. I mean, honestly, as much as Abe was and is so very appreciative of Lore's offer to improve upon the arsenal, I think he couldn't stomach that. I think he really just wants to repurchase his heavy pistol and his, oh god, what was the strongest and yet still inconspicuous type of armored coat? Here, give me 2 seconds, sorry.
It's all good. Like, anything that says subtle in the book is something that you can wear underneath clothing. So you can go up to armored clothing, which is much more expensive than the thing you had last time, but generally tougher.
Of course, yeah, because Abe is still trying to stay subtle here, right? Just because he can't be recorded by the various surveillance equipment of the world doesn't mean he wants to stick out like a sore thumb. He's conspicuous enough, right?
Mm-hmm.
Subtle. No,
Pro
I
tip, if
I
you
think
say
actually-
subtle, it's not being subtle.
no, I think it was armored clothing actually. So that's a grab.
Okay, yeah.
And then the heavy pistol was all he needed to.
It's
He'll
1,200.
Yeah. Really,
what
heavy
farm-
pistol's only 200.
The pistol's cheap compared to the armored clothing,
Oh fuck me. what else could Abe want for? More CDs and cassette tapes and 8 tracks, perhaps? I don't know.
In terms of purchasing, the weapons and the armor are going to be easier to come by than the 8 tracks.
Yeah.
You make your way through markets in various shades of gray, frequently in, the Dog Patch or Wokeland or somewhere. If it's adjacent to the bay, if it's on the docks, it's where things are being smuggled in from weapons that aren't being tracked by the various corporations that are not aiming for corporate offices. And with Abe, your knowledge of what you're looking for, and Lore, your connections and your knowledge of the local scene, you're able to find these things and buy them at price. I'm not going to upcharge you anything.
Yeah. I mean,
Eve, yeah.
Oh, sorry. No, I was
just go for
it. I was just gonna say. I mean, like, what else could you get for the richest man in the world, right? Because the friendship. Okay, and that's it. That was the thought.
And then it looks like Eve has put in the chat a small shopping list of things. How much does that all amount to? Do you know? Do you have on hand?
400.
So, if we're buying all the things you want, you're gonna have to throw out an extra 100 Z's, is the upshot. 1,200 for Abe's gear, and then 400 for the drugs.
Say it one more time. How much for Abe's gear?
1,600 is the total.
1,600.
I think Eve, you said you were dropping 1,500?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yes.
Yeah.
As long as someone can cough up the last 100, we're good. Cool.
I got it.
Shopping episode complete. You're able to find the things. You are not in the market for another rocket launcher, so you don't have to go deep. You re-equip at the end of the shopping montage. We see Abe dressed as he had been, equipped as he had been. What's the vibe at the end of that trip? Abe, as you are now holding a pistol in your hand again. How are you feeling about that?
All right, I think our work here is done. How's about you and I blow this popsicle stand and check in with the rest of whatchamacallit about heading up to Berkeley?
Sounds like a plan.
Unless you want to stop by the Krask Burger on our way back. I could really use a bite to eat.
I mean, we can if you want. I mean, you gotta eat. You've been not doing well with that, even with home-cooked meals.
The hot dogs are pretty alright, though.
Oh, Jesus. It's the easiest one I've made.
Fucking Abe not eating your home-cooked meals but wanting to go out for a Krask Burger. What is he? A child?
Correct.
We have food at home.
We have food at home. No, we'll hit up the Krask Burger.
Yeah, you're able to do that. I will say, Lore, to your senses, to your finely tuned, someone who has worked for a gang senses, there is tension in the air beyond the 5 heat that you currently have. You do feel as if the gang war that's been brewing and on the horizon is again not imminent in the sense that it's spilled out into the streets. There aren't people actively besieging buildings. But everyone sort of knows that there's something big about to go down if you're in the Wokeland, if you're in the Deep East area, right? All of the people there are sort of battening down the hatches for violence.
I think while we're out, I'm gonna text Heinrich. Just while Abe is gushing over guns and whatnot, Laura's just kind of back away a little bit and goes, I would like to meet and talk. Something doesn't feel right about this gang war.
He's going to respond, you gonna kill me?
She rolls her eyes and goes, if I was to kill you, why would I text you? Why would I give you a heads up?
He will legitimately respond, Lore, I don't know what you do. I don't know how you do. You smoked that guy, and then you wanted a body. I knew you at one point. I feel like I know you less and less. You've been rolling with the gang less and less. I revealed some things to you that made you very angry. So, again, are you gonna kill me? I am happy to meet if the answer is no.
Heinrich, you are not on that list of people I want to kill.
You cannot see him calculating out, like, who is that list? How many people are on that list? But that is the subtext of the pause before he responds to you. He'll say that he's busy. He'll set a meeting down the road a little bit to talk about gang stuff. Vail-ish. As Vail recovers, as Vail is in and out of consciousness, you were running a lot of background programs looking into a number of things. I am going to reveal information at dramatically appropriate moments, but the one I'm going to reveal now is pretty straightforward, which is one of the things you were looking into was Treasure Island and the story there. And I'll say now that you've got some dates, the Treasure Island timeline lines up kind of imperfectly with what you've been finding out. Treasure Island was built 20 years ago. The arcology on Treasure Island, the massive, brutalist nightmare scape that is the arcology of Treasure Island on the hillside of the island, kind of consuming the hill of the island, painted black, sort of reflecting off the sun when it shines, poking up into the fog. That was built 20 years ago, so that's roughly around the time span of when this was all going down. It's hard to find out information about the company that built it because it was purchased by another holding company and shut down. The shutdown was 8 years ago, so well after all of the information you'd been finding out about, right? Like, probably closer to, but not quite lined up with the time earlier than when Laura's brother disappeared. If I'm remembering Laura the timeline correctly, when your brother disappeared.
He disappeared 5 years ago.
Yeah, right. So this was before then. You don't really know about much happening in the 8 years ago time frame. So it's hard to put that into the framework of all the things you've been discovering.
Yeah, I think the latch point on like Vail's personal timeline, as the data points all get plugged into like the giant master timeline of Vailish's organizational system, I think that is Vailish does not assess these things as being correlative, but would associate it to that as, I think, probably around the time that Vail dipped on their corp job.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that sounds about right.
Like, it was well after Dad passed, and that was around the time that Vail threw in the towel and went, I can do something else. I'm not dealing with these people anymore.
This corporate shit kind of comes and goes in waves, right? There'll be a moment when all the companies are merging. There'll be a moment where all the companies are breaking apart. This was sort of diverse from all of those moments, right? It was a quiet moment in Vail's life. Vail just dipped because Vail was like, fuck this shit, I don't want to do this anymore. Right. So yeah, it correlates with that, but doesn't seem to have any, so far with the data points you have, causal thing. I'm curious, Vailish, you are a program, you are a database.
I am.
Is there something that you want or are programmed to want to be doing during this time before everyone meets up again?
I had Alondra the player is trying to be very careful about maintaining the idea that while extremely advanced, Vailish is a program and can only run within their parameters. But I did have a question, which is, if Vail is on the road of recovery, would anybody have connected Vail's Jack to Vailish to allow data transfer to begin occurring yet?
I think that question almost starts and ends with Eve, though I see, Laura, you've gone off mute, so if you have a thought, go for it.
No, that was exactly my thought. It would be more of a, is Vail strong enough for us to start even trying to do something like that, if that is what we want to do.
Yeah. And
Vail is at 1 hit point, but stable enough that you could certainly plug Vail into things. You wouldn't want to take Vail on a mission necessarily. You'd have to bring a stretcher.
What?
We
But
can
you
end up
could certainly-
journeying Vail through a mission. Yeah.
Yes. You could do that. The GM, would not stop you from doing that. That would be your prerogative. But yeah, if you wanted to wake up Vail long enough to talk to or plug Vail into something, you certainly could. I will defer the question to Eve, however.
I think, as mentioned in last week's recap, Eve is having sort of this conundrum of what does it mean to plug Vailish into Vail? Is Vailish even Vail? And I think there's a larger part of Eve that just wants to wait and see what happens, and ultimately wants to give Vail that choice rather than make the choice for Vail. So
Okay. Great.
She hasn't plugged Vailish in yet.
I love that. I just needed to know because that determines what I want or what I do based on my programming versus based on Vail having any level of communication or control.
In that case, yeah. Let's fast forward then a couple of days to the group meeting. We are in a new safe house downtown in an underground, what was once... I've been playing the 2012 video game hit XCOM Enemy Unknown. So I'm picturing this precisely as like that one map that's the like interior, like a gas station sort of convenience store. That's where you are presently as you begin to file in to the area. Who's last to show up? Who's going to be fashionably late? Who rolls in when everyone else is already there?
I think it's surprisingly Lore, because I feel like everybody else is living at the safe house right now.
That's close to true. Vail is, Abe is, Glitch is now. Eve, I assume you're still living where you were living.
I am still living where I was living, but I'm mostly staying next to Vail.
Okay, yeah, so Laura, you roll in and everyone seems kind of moved into the spot.
Sure. I do want to point out that when Lore set up Vail's room, she put an extra bed in there so that Eve was not sleeping on the floor like she was, or like they were in the previous safe house.
Nice.
Thank you.
I think Vail not Vail, oh my god. I think Laura just kind of walks in as like surprised to see everybody else there already. Like, oh. Hi.
Hi.
As the camera pans around the room, you see Abe maybe looking a little bit better, Eve maybe looking a little bit worse by just like or being around all these other people, and Glitch, I imagine, still looking a little fucked up from the memory experience.
Yeah.
When was the last time you ate? She looks at Glitch. Something of substance.
This morning. And her voice is still really rough from all the screaming.
Laura's gonna start making food.
As you are making food, let us activate planning mode. I imagine, Glitch, you're going to be some of the lead of this conversation because you know some things. But of course, everyone, feel free to jump in as you have thoughts and ideas.
Establishing out loud, are you doing this in a room where Vailish is active? And great. Vailish is going to basically be functioning as almost like your note taker. You see a raccoon in a little pixelated secretarial outfit. Just as you guys are talking, he's going to just keep slapping post-it notes up on the desktop background and then keep rearranging them.
Oh, I'll move to conspiracy board too, since we're talking about that.
Amazing. So, we went ahead and did the Madeline, as I'm sure was guessed or known. Sorry, my voice is a little fucked up right now. I remember being 4 years old and having an injection of, I suspect, the nanobots injected into my heart. And it was Dr. Nguyen. I'm afraid I don't have a lot to report from that other than just I fell down a flight of stairs in that memory from, well, in the attic of my parents' house. Oh. And when I fell, I didn't land like a 4-year-old should, or even as I would now, falling down a flight of stairs. I landed like I had on my feet, perfectly normal. And I was feeling great from all of those bots running around in me. So,
You did get, I think, for the first time now canonically, like a really good look at Dr. Nguyen. Presumably Dr. Anisifor Nguyen. You've got the first name from the briefcase notes. He was, maybe in his 50s or early 60s in the memory, but spry. He had energy. He clearly, maybe it's creepy to say he clearly loved his job, but like he was not like a peon to a system. He was doing something that he wanted to be doing while he was there.
sure. I could pick him out of a crowd, or at least what he looked like, about 20 years ago. So, they were encouraging me to paint, which I guess doesn't come as much of a surprise with how I felt around that vial of ink. And it was a kind of paint that wasn't sold in stores as far as I can tell, which doesn't necessarily mean a lot. Rich family, sometimes you get things bespoke like that, but it was kind of shitty finger paint. Not the kind of thing that would usually be bought for me. So yeah, that I'm trying to remember, Sam, is there whatever the relationship between my parents and Akasadine, it wasn't, in their minds at least, a meeting of equals. They consider Dr. Nguyen to be the help, basically, gauging by their tones when they were talking to him. So, I think that's all the salient points.
Abe takes this opportunity to tentatively broach the subject. So, Skip, what I'm hearing is that your parents were trying to turn you into some sort of superhuman, then?
Skip?
Short for skipper. In the Navy, the captain of a vessel is commonly referred to as the skipper. I thought it was appropriate. I'm just trying it on. We could come up with something else if you want.
I don't hate it. I was just surprised. That does sound correct, maybe. You have to keep in mind that with families of old blood, older money, there's always the clinging to tradition and the way that things have always been, but there is also the knowledge that if you don't evolve or die. And maybe they came into knowledge of this particular medication and thought that it would be good to have one of their children take it. I don't know.
Yeah.
But it wasn't for the good of Akasadine. It was entirely something that they wanted.
Is it actually evolution? you said you're old blood and your family's old blood and they kind of stick to their ways. There was plenty of new blood around that they could have experimented on if they wanted to.
I mean, I guess it depends on how you're defining evolution. This was more of a rework.
I think that's what I mean. You know, they could have taken someone like my dad and shot him up full of all kinds of crazy experimental shit, and it wouldn't have mattered because nobody gave a shit about him. But instead they experimented on somebody whose parents were gonna fuck them up if anything went wrong.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do. It's the question that's been lingering in my mind this whole time. Why... I think, why my parents would go for it. I don't know why Acosadine went for it.
I think I've said this before, but usually if you're planning on giving life-changing power to somebody, you would probably only do that to the people who are benefiting from power currently. You wouldn't want to give life-changing power to somebody who might want to give it to everyone. If you're used to hoarding power, you're going to keep it.
Sure, but at the risk of sounding glib, given what we already know, it's not impossible that they can keep test subjects in cages under Cal. That wouldn't be spreading it about to anyone else. They didn't have to use someone whose family had enough money to fuck them over at least 12 times.
Unless your family doesn't.
Probably not quite that much, but I have been in the financials. They're good.
Maybe it's not finances then. I'm just saying. A lot of people hide a lot of deep, dark shit on the net. It's not always about money.
Do you think Acosadine had something over them?
What'd you say your dad does? Or your mom or whoever? Sex bots, right?
Yeah, used to. Which, ugh. And Glitch like full body shudders remembering the nanny bot.
Glitch, you were injected pretty young. Was there any health issues before that you know of?
That's a great question. GM, is there anything that I would have been aware of?
No, not that you were aware of. If that's true, it must have been when you were very, very young, but you don't have any knowledge of that. I don't think when you were hitting your family's records on the way out, you would have thought to look at like your own childhood medical records.
It would have never occurred to me, so no.
Right. Like theoretically that information might be there, but it's not something that you know about.
It might not be a bad idea to look into, because if you were their only kid at the time, they would have done anything to make sure you were healthy, especially as the heir of a financial empire, I guess.
An old family.
Sure.
I don't remember if we've established how much younger Bug is than Glitch.
Oh, let's say 5 years younger for the sake of convenience.
Amazing.
Can I ask a wild question?
Oh no.
You can just absolutely say no to this.
Come at me.
But I have to ask. One of the last things that Vail did before they got screwed over from the flush was to grab every one of Glitch's medical records that they could find and destroy them out of the hospital system. In the course of doing that, did I see anything? I'm not going to try to retcon and say I saved copies, but like, is there anything that I might have picked up on that would be
This is a fantastically good question. If there was any remnant of a childhood disease that would have been caught in Eve scans, you did not see it. That would be a weird thing to show up there. The hospital, the clinic, very specifically did not have any prior records from Glitch's life. Like there is nothing associated with Glitch there from before Eve's time. If those records exist, they are either somewhere deep in AirSat's blue, like something corporate servers,
Okay.
or held at home in the family estate.
Great. I just had to ask since that was an established thing that
Yeah.
I'd gotten my grubby little paws on at one point.
No, that's a very worthwhile question.
I mean, if we're eventually going to your parents' house anyway, we might as well look at that. Could be a reason.
I mean, maybe. I am about 5 years older than Bug, so, and I was 4 in that memory, so I was about 6 when the doctor stopped coming around. So maybe
Sure.
it stopped being useful. Maybe whatever it was they gave me fixed what it was, or something else entirely.
I mean, it seems like you fell down the stairs without breaking a bone, so it was doing something.
Without incurring so much as a bruise.
Correct.
In the way that a 4-year-old usually wouldn't fall in like
Lore
that.
brings food over as she's talking.
I'm invested in Laura's cooking. What have you cooked, everyone?
God, you would ask me this.
He would.
I have been actually bookmarking some stuff. So
Are you gonna publish like a lore recipe book, like a cookbook, like a
maybe
Crumb and
one
Fogg
day.
cookbook?
I think she did something like pretty easy, so it wouldn't take very long. So probably, honestly, it was just like some like meats and sandwiches kind of thing, just to have people have energy. And I think she also brings Glitch over some like a glass of water because the throat itchy kind of thing, trying to soothe it sort of thing.
Thanks.
Mostly what I have been looking at is mostly breakfast things, and I didn't want us to have another breakfast thing.
The water in the silicon, the free state of silicon, was once clear water ported in from somewhere else. That all broke down a long time ago when the free state of silicon became free. So everyone sort of knows and doesn't think about how all of the water that you're drinking is just reclaimed sewage that's been through some process that our friends at Consolidated Gas and Electric have monopolized. So, just to make you feel less good about drinking this water right now.
I mean, I think that Glitch doesn't even really think about it because she's never really known anything else. Like, it was dressed up a lot nicer in her parents' house, but I mean, short of having water tanks in the backyard that got filled every week or so, which is not impossible.
You could get probably like tablets from Krask that like double like re-purify the water. They're expensive. Your family would have that, so you'd have had like a better version of this same shitty water, and now you're on the shittier version, literally, of this water.
Oh, boy.
But wow, feel free to X-card that if it's too gross. Any rate, the water is fine. The protein sandwich that you are eating is better, and everyone's feeling a little bit revived.
Okay. So what's next?
I think you already know the answer, and I think you already hate it.
Doesn't have to be that.
We got almost nothing out of my memories.
I wouldn't say almost nothing.
I got ripped up vocal cords of 6 hours of living in a memory, and a couple of tidbits that I kind of already knew.
Sure.
Yeah, but
3 more doses.
you got this motherless fuck's face, though. We know what
Yeah.
he looks like. And he'll be at that
Correct.
soiree at your family estate, no?
It should be.
Vailish, have you run the
list.
name on Isifor Nguyen?
Sure. I can have that running in the background. the GM will let me know if I've gotten any hits back yet.
It's loading. Yeah. That one's working through the process.
Yeah. I think just again naming it out loud, I think in general, like any of these names that we've gotten, I think there is like a process that Vail is just like automatically kind of running through the baseline equivalent of a search engine and then their like slightly darker web version of the search engine. I think also as this conversation is going, I think a new background process pops up, and I do think that they're gonna run a process specifically on Bug.
Huh.
The like tiny little bits of whatever data Vail has picked up on in references to this younger sibling, anything that Vail might have sort of accidentally eavesdropped when they were sharing connection with Glitch, is gonna see if they can source anything on Bug.
Nice. And I will actually tell you some stuff about some surface level stuff about Dr. Nguyen, because he was not like a famous person, but he was not hidden away, right? He was a fairly public figure. You can see that he was a professor at Cal in the last, like the university Cal in the last years before it shut down. His entire department, it seems, was scouted and then scooped up by Acosidine, right? The other names that you saw on the list seem to be other people who were part of that department. Chizuku Takahashi was another professor. Tamsin Jade was a little bit younger. She was like an intern or a grad student is what they called them back then. Who got brought over into this same now corporate project. They do seem to have been in the sphere of robotics, at least publicly. It's not a huge jump from there to some of the things that you have been discovering.
With that surface information, I'm just gonna pitch stuff at you. That's my like search engine pressing, and you can decide if and when I ever find anything out. Knowing that they're into robotics, or that they have associations to robotics, Vailish is gonna start sending out kind of generalized search pings to anybody that they might. I'm trying to think what this would be. I think in the world of robotics, and especially with medical being involved, there's got to be like underground fight club where all the freaking nerds like build their like little baby bots and like fight them or something. Like I like is gonna sort of do some cross-referencing to anything. I'm sure Vail has probably both won and lost money betting on these / offering to help code new systems. This is the origin story of Reeves becoming a drone.
Yeah.
So just like another kind of just like background search kind of pops up with just like pinging through, trying to see if any of these names seem to have any connections. And also, I think just generally taking every one of these names and cross-referencing them with some of these other, like cross-referencing each of these names with Alloy Komi, cross-referencing with Janessa Rion, cross-referencing with Don De La Cruz, like literally just spaghetti at the wall levels of running these weird-ass like background searches. Anyway.
And none of those like deep level recursions are really hitting anything yet, but I will say for that top one, for the robotics one, like the labs, even after Icosidine purchased scooped up this department, the labs kept being in the area of Cal, right? They were now corporate run labs, but they were still happening in that part of town. The research was still happening in that part of the region, in that part of the city. It's not, I mean, you are not seeing explicitly that their research got pushed more and more towards nanobots, but reading between the lines, you're able to see, like, that's where the robotics was going. That being said, like, they definitely still had this sort of underground, like, bigger robots ring sort of thing. They were into that. Cage matches, they were like the matches at Cager, right? Like, that was the sort of, like, phraseology of it. Like the way of saying it to keep it semi under the radar, but you're getting all kinds of pings to that. Obnoxiously, in this benighted era of 2072, robots themselves have kind of gone into less popularity. So many things are virtual now that even that sort of mechanical, like Reeves, is a dying breed. Yeah. Alondra, what's your face doing?
Taking up way too much time in what's supposed to be a planning mission for the people who are not computer programs right now, but I have a thought.
Information's part of planning.
I want to subroutine cager matches looking for like dark web video. You know, like what GlitchAngle does, but like the deeper not what GlitchAngle does. What GlitchAngle has started doing with the like we're releasing the real video. I want to look for cager matches with humanoid built bots and see if I spot a Hessian.
Oh, that is interesting.
Or at least something that looks like it could be a prototype of... You know those, like, terrible robot dogs that we currently have, where it's, like, robot dogs, and it's just, like, weird legs with, like, a little GoPro for a face or whatever? I want to see if I can find the prototype version of a Hessian in a cager. I don't know if I will, but that's what I'm scanning for.
It's time for dice. Give me a intelligence programming check.
That's a 10, homie.
Sure is. It sure be. So here is the thing. It's not that you are seeing it's not that you're seeing a match with a prototype Hessian, as awesome as that would be. It's that there is a strict cutoff point to when these videos stop being made. And that strict, or at least stop being available on the net. Actually, stop being made is wiggly, because it might have been scourged from the net and are no longer able to be found anywhere. And that cutoff point is, about that time period of like the pre-glitch generation of things that were happening, right? Like the after the company was acquired, before Glitch started getting injected with stuff. All of these videos, like there is a clamp down or a post facto clamp down on these things being online.
So right around the same time as the Treasure Island stuff, and right around the same time that I left my job, as far as my data points go. Great.
If you will. Yes.
Yeah. Not necessarily that they're correlative to one another, but that's the era.
Yeah, that is the era.
Great. Y'all just see a bunch more post-it notes going up on the wall, and you see little, like, automated, like, pings and colored dots popping up on this, like, little timeline thing that's running across the bottom of the screen.
You might even find, like, with a 10, you might even find, like, an internal memo or something that's been posted to the dark webs for my Costadine, which is to the extent of you are no longer allowed to, this is prototype material, this is a secret project, you cannot make videos of this, you will all be fired, everyone in your family will be fired, do not do this. Like, a very, very strongly worded letter saying, don't make any more of these videos about this project, that even touches on this project.
Stop using company equipment for your dumbass underground robot fights.
It's even less stop using company equipment and more like the information that you are putting out there could be used for industrial espionage. Like, you are literally showing something which could be secrets, which would allow other people to develop what we're developing. Stop it at once.
Great. Vail's gonna start running a subroutine to see if they have any contacts who are known to be involved with industrial espionage. Because they've certainly done some. They've got to know other people. Again, that's a longer term probably thing.
Yeah, we'll back burner that one.
Yeah. No, that's just, again, so many tiers of subroutines running on this little desktop.
My excuse for not giving you all the information right now is that there are so many subroutines happening that, like, they're all moving at a slower speed than if it was just one.
Oh, I'm asking an insane number of questions. I don't expect to get any answers necessarily. I'm just declaring what I'm doing so that if I need to reference it later, I can.
Asking questions is how you get information. 10 out of 10. Meanwhile, though, back in the real world, as Vail-ish is going 10,000 directions in virtual space, what's the plan? And with a special attention perhaps on Eve, whose home district that is.
I'm just gonna say I really need your like raccoon hands and then washing hands to be a GIF because that was great.
Somebody clip it.
I'll do it later.
Thank you.
I don't have a plan or thoughts about a plan. I just know Cal pretty well, and I... Who I am now is not like Dr. Nightingale. It took me a really long time to set this up, and a lot of help from Vail. I can't.
You can't burn this identity.
No.
No, I understand.
That's okay. I got identities to spare.
I can possibly. Laura had you pick up Control Delete.
Mm-hmm.
And I couldn't make everybody forget me, but if I wanted to see my parents, and if I could get them to take it, then they wouldn't remember me, and they might be able to answer some questions. Though they're not at the center of this, and I don't know what research they're working on now.
In your time in that area, did you have connections into the robotics area? Because I just made a connection that I really should have made a hell of a lot sooner. My parents were involved in sex bots. That was bought out by Acosidine. What are nanobots but tiny, tiny, tiny robots?
Yeah.
Which actually may be one of the reasons that my family and I were in that, let's say, vicinity.
Well, we do know that there's a clear collaboration between Ersatz Blue and Acosidine to create those nanobots. I can't say that I remember my parents ever being directly involved in anything, but I've purposefully forgotten a lot of my childhood. It was not pleasant. And I don't remember, but it would be impossible for them not to have worked for Ersatz Blue.
All right, well, that may be somewhere to go to at least start getting some names. Right. Are you saying that you want to make your parents forget who you are? Because I feel like we glossed past that really quickly.
No, Control Delete only makes you forget the last however many hours you have experienced life. If I give it to them in a meal at breakfast and they go to bed, they'll forget the whole day. They won't forget me. They won't.
Good.
Not that they would care. I'm dead.
Oh, I have no idea what your childhood was like, so I'm not going to comment on whether that's good or bad. Or something in between.
It's just nothing.
I'd hesitate to call it a plan, but the plan that I'm hearing right now is Eve returns to Cal, has a conversation with their parents, and then drugs them so that they forget that the conversation happened.
Well, yes, drugging happens prior to conversation. Yes.
Yes.
I have questions about that, though. Are you sure your parents will not just turn you in?
No, I'm not.
So there's a problem there, too.
And if they think you're dead, are they going to talk to you at all? They might think it's
I
a
don't
trick.
know. I don't know.
So I don't know if that's our plan then. This is very hard. I could probably find out some stuff like, well, where they took Karen's body, if they have a name for who they turned that body into, or stuff like that. I don't know how that would help us, but maybe it's a different lead kind of situation.
That might give us a different in to Cal that
Yeah.
might be a little less dangerous.
I don't know if it's a little less dangerous if I find out the name of somebody who has my brother.
I think they meant dangerous for us, not for what you would do to them.
Still don't think it's less dangerous for us. I'm pretty sure we all have a thing where I go off the rails quite a bit.
If you can get me into the system, I can look for information. I can also destroy information. It's not a guaranteed thing, as we've obviously shown, but it's a hell of a lot more useful to put me in there than it is to keep me in here, just pointing it out.
Sure.
Would you be able to talk to your contact, Lore, and ask them if they have any other information about where your brother was taken, who your brother was given to?
I think that I should probably mention something that I've only mentioned to one of you because I'm an idiot. The Mazers, the Jacks, and the Fairy Boys are about to start a war.
Ugh.
This has been, it doesn't feel right. Something is off. I know I haven't been a part of the gang for that long. 5 years. But there's too many, like... I'm paranoid. We all know that. But it feels like somebody is controlling things outside of it and just saying, well, obviously this person is doing this to this person. So, like, the Jacks have attacked the Fairy Boys. The Mazers have attacked whoever. Like...
All on hearsay.
Yes.
Yes. Angel, I was talking to Angela Romero. Fairy Boys.
Yeah. I know him.
Yes. Well, anyway, that shipment that exploded, Angel took that very personally. It was odd. Strange for him to do that. I don't know. But
so,
as though the Mazers were specifically after Angel, and I tried to calm them down, but
it feels off, right?
It does. I don't know that there's anything we can do about that right now, though.
My other thing is it doesn't make sense on why they sent me to talk to Angel about turf war. With a guy that I told to keep his fucking mouth shut so he wouldn't die. And what happened? Oh hey, he opened his big fat mouth, and now what is he? Dead.
That was in the non-filmed prologue for those of you who are following along at home, or non-streamed prologue
I was
for
gonna
those
say
of you who are following along at home.
incorrect.
Yeah.
That was filmed. It was not streamed.
Filmed, but if you're like, what the fuck is she talking about? It's because you, dear audience, were not there for that.
Someday
yet.
you'll get the premium content.
But it
Not
doesn't.
today.
It felt. I this is another thing I want to talk about my contact, but there's a lot of fucking shit that's happened. It felt like that was supposed to be the start point of a turf war, at least between the Jacks and the Fairy Boys.
And we somehow stopped it.
Interrupted. I don't think we have
Paused
stopped
it.
anything.
We
Right.
interfered.
Right, because a certain old man did the shooting first, and you're not a part of a gang, and boy howdy did I want to be mad at you, but also you might have saved my life. I have a lot of stupid dumb luck, is what I'm finding out.
So all of this to say, you don't think you could get information out
No,
of your...
I do think I could get information. I already have, I'm supposed to be meeting with him soon-ish. I have no idea. He said he
Tomorrow,
would reach out
let's
to me.
say.
Okay,
Yeah.
tomorrow I was supposed to be meeting with him. On hopefully neutral ground, because at this point I don't know if I have like a hit on me by the Jacks. The other thing that doesn't make sense is I was accosted at the Jacks and they just wanted to turn me in. But no one knew it was me that was Nightingale. So what's that about? Like, is my name, Lorelei Mortimer, out there
Connected
for
to,
somebody
connected to Nightingale?
or connected to anything? Are they just putting a hit on me for whatever reason? Because if you get rid of me, you get rid of a problem?
I wonder if that might not be... I mean, I've been working pretty hard to keep y'all's names out of things. But
even then, I've not looked like myself on any of your streams except for the one that was scrubbed.
It was scrubbed
By who though?
Scrubbed,
Yes.
and scrubbed is a strong word. People,
Do you-
there are bootleg copies of that all over the place. I've got a couple copies of that.
Do
I
you
will
want-
also go ahead. Sorry.
No, finish.
I also reached out to Ez.
Oh, what'd they say?
Oh boy. They are in complete hiding. They think that they are marked for death. I told them that if they needed anything to reach out to me. Because maybe they know something that, well, they definitely have to know something that we don't know. Now whether they reach out to any of us, it's probably gonna be me. Just because for some reason I can get a hold of them. It's in a weird way, but
If I had to guess, I think it's because you're the one who's been trying most recently. I haven't been.
I just, there's too many things that we don't know, and I think we all know that. But there are also too many coincidences and like controlling bullshit that we don't know either.
Okay. I have a theory.
Oh good.
And this is higher level theory, not at all having to do with our next step, but
Sure.
Ez was most likely hired by Ecosidine, if Ecosidine is behind all of this. Through sub-channels to, I don't know, interrupt. Clearly, Remainder was involved, but to interrupt the theft of this paint. The
But it wasn't-
Hessians, if we're calling them that, were there. Perhaps they want this substance, whatever it is, to complete their project in some way, shape, or form.
I'm
Or
wondering
they
if
want to
this-
destroy it so that no one else gets a hold of it.
I don't know if it was even that. I'm wondering if we were hired so that the trains could stop, so that passing of the briefcase could happen. Because remember, there was one group on that train and one group on ours. And we were hired for that, and the Hessians were there to stop it, or they were pulled there by the briefcase. Because they tracked that without having heads.
Yes. Well, okay. So Janessa worked for Remainder
Yes, and Theorem.
and Theorem, and they got a hold of this substance somehow, and they were working within Remainder to what? I don't know. This is what I don't understand is why hire 2 teams to stop 2 trains?
In order to have the briefcase pass from one train to the other.
But to whom?
The Mazers.
But why?
I don't
Or
know.
the
The Mazers are high enough level for this shit, right?
But they're going very high level very quickly.
but
from what I
also
understand.
maybe it wasn't the Mazers. It was the One-Eyed Jacks that was on the other train, Sam?
Oh, yes. And
They were.
they
The
The
One-Eyed
Yeah.
Kings.
the One-Eyed
Kings. Yeah.
Right, that thing.
Oh, yeah.
They
This
are
is why we have the murder board. Thank you. This is very helpful.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is finally happening. It's finally happening.
Okay. And
So,
they Oh. Go for it.
Janessa said to me after she handed me the briefcase to not let them bury it again, which means that it was out there at one point, if again is the word that she used, which it was. So, Acosadine was burying it. Obviously. Was it Acosadine that owns Severat? Because it wasn't Drive On. But we know who does own it. Because Sam told us, but I haven't
Yes, I
watched
will
that
answer that if
episode
no one
in
has
a
that
while.
answer at hand.
I don't
on hand.
remember.
I don't remember.
That is something which almost exists on this board, but doesn't quite. It was Remainder.
Yes.
Yeah.
Remainder. Yes. So that, oh my god, these fucking corpos.
Sorry. I've been running a bunch of sort of, simulations in the background, and I this gang war seems manufactured. We all
Correct.
agree on that.
Yes.
And we've got a lot more gangs that seem to be working with corpos than is historically, what gangs do. Does anybody have any objections to me sending a couple of messages to a couple of contacts in gangs we have not named yet to see what the sitch is? Because I got some connections. Well, Vail has some connections in Frogger Scratch, because that's where all the hackers hang out, and Vail's never been a proper member, but, we all kind of know each other because we keep each other's backs, and also we backstab each other because that's how hacking works. Vail also may or may not have some, really long-standing beef with the Red Rover, and given their current state of things, if somebody got a fake ping that indicated that maybe Vail was off the grid or dead, that might get some attention if we wanted to try to talk to them. They suck. They're the fucking worst, and I don't necessarily recommend it because they're absolute douche canoes and we should just firebomb them. But it might get us some information because they are the other side of what the Jacks do. The Jacks retail the drugs, the Rovers make them.
Why? The other thing is why just the 3?
Because they all deal in extortion. It's 3 gangs who primarily function on extortion and theft. They're trying to crush because somebody knows something or has something they shouldn't, and it might be that fucking briefcase. Oh, my subroutine program's unlocked swearing. That's cool.
Wait, well, whoever's doing the map, do yourself a favor and connect Remainder to Theorem. You found those in context of each other, and connect those things somewhere to Janessa Rion.
She's up. It says dead above her name.
I see her.
Okay. Okay. Sam, do I know the name of like the actual leader of the Jacks?
Wow, that's a fantastically good question, and I'm sure I have that answer written down somewhere.
I would assume.
Here we go. You definitely know the name of the leader of the Jacks. For the purposes of this episode, while I'm looking through those notes, the leader of the Jacks' name is the leader of the Jacks. But yeah, you are aware of him.
Okay. Have I had much contact with them, or am I too?
No,
far
I mean
down?
it's like this. The vibe of the Fairy Boys is very like, here's the leader. He's hanging out in the main room. Anyone can talk to Angel. Angel's cool. The vibe of the Jacks is like, we are all wearing trench coats and we don't say the leader's name.
Okay. So here's my other theory.
Uh-huh.
What says that the leader of the Jacks isn't a corpo? Is it some CEO of a corpo? We don't talk about him.
It's certainly possible. The
Yeah.
corpos get their fingers into everything, and if they think a gang would be a useful tool, there's nothing to
Why
say.
wouldn't it? Disposable people, basically. You get them to do whatever, fuck up whoever you want. Your hands are clean of it, but hey, fuck those gang members.
That's way smarter than what I always assumed. Oh, Declan and I always figured there wasn't a leader. No, we like literally we've got a long-standing fuck, I died. That means he's gonna win by default. Shit.
You're not
You
dead.
didn't die.
You're just
Oh,
asleep.
I didn't sick. That's cool to know.
Yeah. So okay, your theory on no.
No, we just if nobody ever talks to him, it's because he doesn't exist. It's a subroutine computer program somewhere that somebody hits like a random number generator to see what they're supposed to do next. That's why the shit they do is so stupidly random sometimes.
Today, Kraskburger.
Tomorrow,
okay,
the world.
So does everybody, my dad and I both worked in like transit situations
Sure.
and stuff. And so like, you know how like, way back in the day, there was like this historical joke about how all road work used to be done by throwing darts at like a calendar and a map and then a tool, and then those were the combination. That's how you determined like which highway was getting worked on what day and what they were doing on it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so like you could do that for a gang. You just throw a random dart at the map and then you like spin a wheel of like what bullshit you're gonna pull on that part of the map that day. Your idea is better. The idea that it's a corpo that's using a bunch of disposable people is significantly better. I just wanted to put it out there because I'm like reprogramming my
Yeah.
analyses as we go.
But also that like it wouldn't be above them to be like, oh yeah, we'll just this one gang member will turn them in. Or me, oh, kill that person because of the fuckery she does. Which, I mean, you know, I am a liability when it comes to a lot of things, so.
I know corpos less well than I know.
But you're our liability.
But I wouldn't be at all surprised if I do see it as the help.
I do know corpos quite well, so. God.
I hate to be that person, but we still don't have a plan.
Yes. Well, we do, because I have to go talk to my contact tomorrow, and then we can circle back to the plan a little bit more.
Oh, don't keep that corpo lingo out of your mouth. Circle back. Get out of here with that.
That was DB. That was
I
DB.
know.
Lorelai would never. We'll just
I
circle back
haven't-
to this.
I haven't kept up tabs on my parents, so I should probably see if they're still alive.
It also may be worthwhile to see what, if anything, remains of the robotics division in Cal.
Let's run us 3 quick scenes based on those 3 things, and then we'll take a break. I know we've been kind of pushing out the break a little bit, but we can get through these scenes. We're gonna start with the simple one, the information gathering. I want to know first of all, actually, if Lore, you are meeting with your guy Heinrich, or who was your guy Heinrich, in a neutral location. I just assume at this point that all neutral locations are crossburgers. Are you going alone, or are you taking someone with you?
I am not going alone. I would see if Abe would be okay going with me. I feel like if this is a trap, I need somebody who can also fight with me. Love Glitch and Eve. Glitch is in no position to fight, and also it's probably very dangerous for her to be out there. Eve kind of needs to do some research, I think. So I think it makes sense for Abe and Lore to do it. And also Abe and Lore just keep having moments. So
Aww.
gross.
Natural pairings find themselves. It's good. It's real good. So Abe, you're going with Lore to meet a member of the Jacks?
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna hold on that. Eve, when you say you're gonna check up on your parents, is that like clickety clicky checkup, or are you like going to Cal to see to see what's going down there?
I have a couple of thoughts. I could clickety clackety check up, and I'm okay with that. But I was also thinking about doing a little phone calling, cold calling family friends, while disguising my voice and inquiring after my parents to see if they're still alive, if they're doing what they're doing. Very much in the vein of, hi, we have a great opportunity for Dr. So-and-so and Mrs. So-and-so and Mrs. Dr. So-and-so.
Yeah, absolutely. So we'll do that one real quick because that's easy. Not emotionally easy, perhaps, but logistically easy. You spend a day making a number of calls. What you're gonna find out is that your parents are alive. Your parents, it's not like retiring is really a thing anymore. You work, you might get moved up to a cushier job, but they work you. Your parents are still working. Yes, your parents work for AirSats. Of course they do. Whom else could they be working for? But they've got sort of cushy research sort of adjacent jobs. They don't have to go into the office much. So they are in the region of Cal most days of the week. But yes, they're well, and they're very interested in whatever opportunities you can present for them.
Do I get the sense that they're still in the home that I grew up in?
Yes, they are still in the home, the very home that you grew up in.
Great. Excellent.
Is that where you're going to leave it, or you want to push a little bit farther into that?
I don't know where to push in that would be most beneficial, so I think I'm gonna leave it there.
Very good. As you consider your family home, we turn our attention to Abe and Lore. Shoot, there was the third thing. What was the third thing that someone was doing research on? I've lost it. Glitch, maybe, was gonna do something?
I was trying to figure out what remains of the Cal Robotics division.
Yes. It's gone. This is a bit of time that you and Vail can spend just kind of looking into the records of things as this day or two is passing. Cal's entire robotics division is purchased by Ikasadine, and then at around the same time as that turnover in AirSats that you heard about, that turnover that involved Marcus T. Spine getting pushed out to the boonies, at around that same time, all records of the robotics division of Cal, now working for Ikasadine, cease to exist. Not cease to exist, like it stops existing. It gets shut down.
Huh. The connections are both incredibly simple if you know where to look and incredibly well buried.
Lore and Abe, you are making your way to a neutral location where to meet with Heinrich.
Mm-hmm.
He has come alone. Abe, are you sticking around outside, or are you like bodyguarding over Lore? What's the vibe of this?
That's up to Lore, honestly, at this point, right? Dave's just here to offer support. If Lore thinks it would be beneficial for Abe to be perched up on a roof somewhere, providing overwatch, he'll do that. If Lore thinks that, you know, a big 50-year-old something something who looks like he's seen some shit would be a good tool to stand behind her as an intimidation tactic, he's good with that too. Lore's calling the play here.
I don't want you up on a roof.
I'm so good at it.
I know you are. And you look so fabulous up there too. But I also don't need you to be an intimidation factor. I need you to be a friend. Heinrich knows what I can do. This is more of a, if all of a sudden something happens and somebody descends on all of us, I needed some backup so that I'm not fighting alone again.
Yeah, that didn't work out for most of us the last time that happened, huh?
And it only worked because I was in a blind rage.
Yeah, Abe's still a little skittish around the whole concept of emotions as just a rule, so he's just gonna let that pass.
It's okay.
So you're going to the Krasberger, the neutral. It's late at night. It's going to be empty, other than for the nameless person, the drone behind the counter. You are able to see, Abe, just based on your training, that like if there is someone here who's waiting to jump Lore, they are extremely well hidden. Like this is a place that's going to be hard to keep secrets in just because of the harsh lighting. And Heinrich is sitting at a table.
We'll approach the table with Abe, pull a chair out and sit down.
They'll sort of look the two of you up and down and be like, isn't he a little old for you, Lore?
I like them at all ages, you know that, as long as they're legal.
I would. Abe balked at not the innuendo, but the suggestion that he could be anything resembling close to legal in this time and place.
Oh, wow. Okay, that got darker than I expected in different directions. Heinrich will say, so if the two of you are here to finish me, here I am.
I brought somebody because the last time I rolled up to a jack anything, I was jumped.
Yeah.
I know it wasn't by you, but I also don't know what the jacks want with me anymore.
It's fucked, Lore. Everything's fucked.
I'm sure it is, and now I'm here to try and help.
He honestly was not expecting you to say that.
Oh yeah.
He'll say,
shh.
You want to help the jacks?
No, I want to help you.
You still want to... Oh.
But if helping the jacks means I'm helping you, then fine. But I also have some questions of my own.
There are things that I should not tell you. And I am going to tell them to you because we are in too deep for this bullshit. So you ask, I'll tell you, and we'll see if we can pull ourselves and maybe the jacks through this without it being an absolute shitbath.
Sounds like a plan.
What do you got?
Do you have a name for who you turned Kieran into?
She never gave us a name. She gave us a place. She gave us a pronoun.
Okay. Do you know exactly the place that you turned him into?
Yeah, it wasn't that long ago. Can't forget a creepy ass place like that.
Well, I know your memory's going, old man.
Well, I'm not too old to forget how to say "go fuck yourself."
I love you too.
Yeah. I can give you the intersection where it happened. It was an old building, top part, Cal, most of it out of business, storefronts boarded over. This was underground, down a hallway. We met her at the end of the hall. She took your brother from us there.
Do you know what she looked like? Any defining features?
He will describe a woman maybe in her 40s or early 50s, adding 5 years, probably in her 40s then. Mousy, anxious. She had, you know what it looks like when someone has cyber and then they have to get it removed real quick. Like they rip it out or have someone rip it out and it heals over bad. She looked like that.
Is that description anyone I have ever seen before, Sam?
No.
Okay. I will put that in the back of my head to ask the rest of the group later. Okay. How the fuck is this war starting?
Oh, jeez. I'll say, I don't know how it happened. The Mazers were nothing. They were this scrappy-ass gang of kids. They had no technique. They had no resources. They rolled up into the maze, and they robbed drive-ons. That was their thing, right? While the traffic was happening, they smashed windows. They took what was in cars. I don't know what they found in some car. I don't know what they were able to turn over or sell. But they got very rich very fast. And they've been using that money to arm up. They've been using that money to take out hits. They are making moves. With us and the Fairy Boys, there is an equilibrium. That equilibrium is shot to fuck.
Are you sure it's the Mazers? Are you seeing this, or is this just hearsay?
The part where it gets fucked, right? It's clear. Like, they got the money. That was back, I don't know, 2 months ago. This is recent. They got the cash, and then things started getting weird, right? Because once they had the money, then I don't know what we were doing, what they were doing, what the Fairy Boys were doing. No one's actions started making sense anymore after that. As soon as the Mazers got money, we got irrational. We started doing things as if we were preparing for a war, but like in not ways that made sense. The Fairy Boys got irrational.
Yeah.
I can't explain anyone's actions. The one thing that I know is true, the one thing that I can pin down on, is that the Mazers getting fucking rich. I don't know if they found a portable bank in one of those cars that they cracked into. I don't know if they found a fucking gemstone that they sold to somewhere. But they got rich and things got weird.
But you know for a fact. Let's back it up. Has the Mazers done anything to hit the Jacks?
I don't know. I don't know if the Mazers have hit us. I don't know if the Fairy Boys have hit us. I don't know if we fucking hit ourselves.
Heinrich, I'm going to ask you a question that I have never asked you before.
Oh, I'm not looking forward to it.
Have you ever seen our leader?
I thought you were
Spoken
going to
to
say,
them?
will you marry me? I'm happier with this one.
Ew. God.
He'll smile. He's not being serious. No.
Ever.
No?
How long have you been with this gang?
Ah, shit. What year is it? Decades.
Okay.
I'm old.
I know you're old, old man.
He's not as old as Abe, to be clear.
The thing is we don't know who we work for. How do we know it's not just some manufactured corpo?
Shit,
What if
Laura.
all of this irrational bullshit is to keep us distracted?
If I could get a job at a corpo that has the benefits of working with the Jacks, I'd work for a fucking corpo.
I don't.
I don't have to put on a suit.
I know that's not what I mean. I'm just saying, like, if too much of this is just coincidental and things don't make sense. You said it. I feel it.
I didn't care that things didn't make sense because the money flowed, the drugs flowed. I was doing my job. We were living large.
Yeah.
It's only when things not making sense that starts hurting the, I don't know, bottom line if we're in a corporation. That's when I start getting
God.
upset about things.
Correct. So here's the thing. Who benefits if 3 gangs go into a war?
Not me. Not you.
No. But a corpo might. If we wipe out 3 of us? So, and the irrationalness that we've not had before is insanity. Here's the other thing I have for you.
So someone
Heinrich.
wants the people scared. That's what you're saying. Someone wants
Yes.
people afraid.
Yes.
Hmm.
And who would want the people scared? Who would want the masses scared? I know I'm sounding like fucking... Oh
Declan?
my god. I was gonna say those fucking freedom fighters, but I guess Declan works too.
Oh, you mean you're on a... I thought conspiracy theories. You mean fucking you're gonna do something about it. Okay.
I've already started, Heinrich. That's why I've not been here. That's why I've been doing other things.
Oh, what? Lorelei stands for something now?
No, obviously not.
Huh.
How stupid of me to forget where my place is.
He'll
Which is
glance over at Abe to see what Abe's vibe is during this leg of the conversation.
He's got a slightly bemused expression on his face, but he's just looking at Heinrich, especially as it pertains to the phrase, oh, so you actually stand for something now? Because that gets it somewhere back here.
What else can I do for you, Lore?
Is there a head out on me? By the Jacks?
Someone higher up in the Jacks made a connection between you and a hit that was out. That hit is no longer out because a body was provided.
Interesting.
A body which I personally remember taking out of a box and handing to you, but I'm not going to tell anyone about that.
Good. That'll keep you alive against whoever has that hit out on me.
Oh, I thought you were going to say keep you alive against whoever has 2 thumbs and will... Okay.
No,
Sure.
no. You're so paranoid when it comes to me.
I saw you take a guy's head.
You didn't see it? You showed up
You're right.
afterward.
To be clear, I saw the after effects of a guy's head. I have shot men. I have taken men I've shot and delivered them to people. I did not shoot your brother. I have done lots of really violent things, but seeing a person without a head changes you.
And yet you still came to see me.
Yeah.
Because you knew I wasn't going to do that to you.
Yeah.
Who set up the meeting with the fairy boys? Fucking months now?
He'll say, I can look into it. It was from on high. It was from the leader.
Of course.
I can look into it. For now, he'll slip an address across the table to you. I don't know what's where now, but that's where your brother was 5 years ago.
I'm gonna keep digging into this whole gang war. Don't tell anybody at the Jacks. I don't know how they're gonna react if I ever show my face there again.
I'm not gonna tell anyone. I'm doing my job. I'm gonna cover for you as best I can. Did you know that you're out sick?
Am I? What do I have?
A big old case of fuck you.
Perfect. Love it.
I heard that some people around the Jacks have been having explosive headaches. Maybe you're one of them.
Good, that guy is one of them too, then.
It's catching.
Could catch more. If you find anything out, will you let me know? I'm gonna keep trying to figure out. I do not want this gang war to happen.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good luck.
No.
Oh, fuck off.
At least I could say I have abundance of that. Luckiest
Yeah.
person you know.
Yeah. You're only lucky till you're dead.
It's all that matters, right?
He'll throw one last glance up and down and say, your talkative boyfriend here. Make sure he keeps you alive.
That's not his job, that's my job. I keep me alive.
Mm-hmm. He'll
My
think
job
something.
is just to sit here and look pretty, actually.
It's true.
He has slipped you the address scrawled onto a piece of paper. He will nod once more and head out.
Fuck.
You know, kid, I've seen a lot of false flags in my time, and this gang war that's a brewing seems like the falsest and the flaggiest of them.
I know the feeling. I don't like it. Something is wrong. Gangs have wars. They do, but not like this. Not so irrationally unthought out. And now one gang has just decided to be, I'm gonna be as organized, more organized than the two that have been established?
And Abe just starts laughing bitterly. I think it's real sweet, kid, that you think that wars are ever fought for rational reasons.
I don't believe wars are fought for rational reasons. I think that they are done deliberately. But when you start just doing things a little bit like, maybe not irrational, but like not the way that that has been handled before.
I'm teasing. I know exactly where you're coming from.
I know.
Sorry, these emotions are getting... Oh, Abe's what, like 12 days from like the last Prosium allotment?
Yeah, it's pushing up towards the end of the time limit for sure.
Yep.
Yeah. I know. I'm sorry if this was too much for you.
Are you kidding? No, this was cake in comparison. At least in comparison to what I had planned, but... we'll put a pin in that for the time
What
being.
did you have planned?
So
If I can't lie to you, you can't lie to me now.
So Abe takes you back to when Vail ish was running all them sub searches, right? Right?
Mhm.
You know, I'm looking for someone. I figure while the kids or whatever's in the ColecoVision over there is, you know, available, I might as well see what I can see, do what I came here to do. But like as a tertiary or quaternary objective to everything that's going on. I want to find out what's happening with the skipper. All right?
Yeah.
I want Cal to go ahead and do what Cal I want Eve to do what fuck me. Okay. I want Eve to do whatever Eve needs to do. But you know, I mean, I figure if the kid Pewter over there is going to be running background searches anyway.
I mean,
I kind of wanted a piece of the action.
sure. I get that. Are you willing to give me that person's name so that I could also do some research?
Yeah. I don't see why not. And from out of nowhere, Abe, from beneath his armored coat, produces like a post-it note and a pencil, and he just scribbles 2 names. Yeah, right here.
And puts them in the chat.
Okay.
I need you to. Well, I don't need you. It would be nice if, while we go ahead and tidy up all the loose threads in the unfinished business vis-a-vis everyone else, if we all make it out of this alive, I'd very much like to resume my search.
Of course.
But not a moment sooner. I'm not going to be distracted this time. Not while all this is going on.
Abe. Our troubles are not the same. You have been pulled into this, but you have every right to look for the people you're looking for. It's not fair for us to tell you to put things like that on the back burner, and we're not doing that. Some of these things we can find out, hopefully find out together as we're doing these other searches. At least start searching. But you shouldn't have to do it alone.
I mean, least of all because I don't have a jack. You have no idea how difficult it is finding information when you can't.
I don't have one either.
Yeah, but you have people. You got resources. You got friends in low and high places. I have none.
Friends. Calm down. The only friends I truly have are fuckers living in my safe house now.
Somewhere Heinrich is wounded by that statement.
He knows.
He knows.
You're trusting that those names with me. I feel like it's probably important that I give you something to reciprocate the trust. And as we're walking it back, she just goes, my real name is Lorelei Conrad.
You know, and not to rain on your parade or anything, but
it doesn't mean anything to anybody.
Well, that's useful. Believe you me. As
It's
someone
not, but...
Well, no, it's someone who can stay off the nets like myself. I respect that. I get that. And that'll make things easier, because usually pseudonyms are like completely separate from what our given names are, aren't they?
Usually, but when somebody asks you and you panic...
I've been there too.
Kind of go with things you know.
And as this talks of names and pseudonames continues, as you make your way back, one thing will be apparent to us in our mind's eye that the characters will discover soon. Imagine the camera zooming out from the scene to the address that you have received, Lorelei, on a scrap of paper. An intersection where there is a street sign, but we've said that the names of streets have become sort of loosey-goosey in the era beyond municipal government, in the era beyond really reliable maps. This intersection would have once been Haste and Martin Luther King Jr., but since the sign broke, the abbreviation of that second street, it's just Haste and Cager. K Jr. And we'll take our break on the place where the Cager matches took place.
Okay. Well, we'll be back very shortly, friends. Since we don't have a whole lot of time left in today's session, let's go ahead and roll into a short break. We'll be back very quickly. Stick around, friends. Hello, guys, gals, and non-binary pals, and welcome back to the Fae Realm. We've been doing a whole lot of information gathering, and now we dive back in. Sam.
Yes. There is no explicit time limit. It's not 3 days till the world explodes. And yet, there are so many things that seem to be moving so quickly. Gang wars, corporate actions. The dates tick by one as you move closer towards a party at Glitch's family estate. But you have something that you did not have a day ago. You've got a lot of things you didn't have 2 days ago. But you recently have an address to a lab in Cal, or to at least a location in Cal, where a body has been delivered. I'm curious what the play is here. As your various forms are still recuperating from their wounds, as Vail is still laid out on a bed, as Abe and Lore are slowly healing. You got the address. What's the play?
So I think we come back and Lore will kind of tell them everything that happened, leaving out some things like not like major details, but little things that just doesn't matter. And that her contact is gonna let her know what's gonna happen with the Jacks. She does at that point also describe the person that they handed Kieran's body over to. Hoping that maybe somebody recognizes that person.
Does that person sound familiar to me?
Or me.
It's gonna be Eve if it's anyone here. And I think, yeah, if Veil-ish, if you are running that through like
Absolutely,
databases
yes.
to get to the bottom of things, yeah, this face is going to be attached to a dim memory, Eve, which is going to be attached to a name that you have heard before. And that name's on your board. That name is Tamsin Jade.
Jade.
Yeah, abso-fucking-lutely.
Yeah. Yeah, that's Tamsin Jade.
Great.
Oh, good.
Who has vanished.
Yes.
Do we know when she supposedly vanished?
Around the time that the project ended.
So around the time that I would have been still quite young, but
Cool. That bitch is still alive then.
apparently.
5 years ago.
And still
At that
working.
point. Yeah.
On what? I couldn't tell you, but
No. The other thing that's happening is this. The Mazers may have come into some money. That's why they're more organized. But Heinrich didn't give me a straight answer on if they actually saw a mazer do anything to anybody.
Vailish, running subroutines on the mazers making money, you're actually gonna be able to get to the bottom of that fairly quickly. Because you've got some
Really?
specific dates,
Sure.
and because the mazers didn't cover their tracks particularly well.
They're not hackers. They did a bad job.
The mazers did something dumb, or at least something that retroactively was perhaps a little dumb. Which is this. Yeah, they acquired something. It was just a random hit into a car. They freaked out. They couldn't do anything with the thing they acquired, so they tried to sell it to the highest bidder. The highest bidder turned out to be you people at the end of the day.
They had the fucking briefcase.
Oh my god.
They didn't sell it to you,
No, we stole it.
but they sold it to someone. And you wound up with it.
Tracing back through the pings of where I found this information, can, can I identify like whoever the first person was, like the first person was who like put this out into the ether of like, hey, we got a thing, who wants it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, keep going.
No, what I was gonna say is like I also kind of generally want to look for like, in so much as I am able to find anybody who expressed interest, I will look for that. That is less important. I want to find the point person who initially was like, "Hey, we got a thing. Who wants it?"
Yeah. It's a lot harder to find the people who are interested in it because
Sure.
everyone who was interested in it was better at covering their tracks than the
Yeah, it's
mazers.
smarter than these fuckers. Sure, that's fair.
Right. Like, it seems that they were less intelligent and more, Lore's thing, incredibly lucky, at least for a moment. They got the money. You're able to find only one name that's ever sort of attached to this. You're not sure if it's like the point person, but it is again a name that you've already heard before. Skeeve Rapino.
Fuck.
These stupid fucking idiots.
Okay. So they sold it to Therum.
Yes.
Skeeve and Janessa are connected on our board.
Mm-hmm.
Janessa was an agent of Therum who had the briefcase.
They were doing the deal on the train.
There was a person in that car that looked like a gang member.
No, they did the deal on the
No,
train.
I know,
and
but
yeah,
but I think that was Skeeve.
right. And I'm saying,
Yeah.
so then why the fuck was the other train? We've always been asking why were there two trains. We thought it was because there was a handoff. If the deal
Yeah.
was going down in the train that we were on, it means somebody else knew the deal was going down and was stopping the other train to do a handoff that was not the person who bought the briefcase.
It could have been Reminder.
It might have been Janessa herself. She was the one who shoved the briefcase off and said, "Don't let this get buried again." Maybe.
But she was running from a Haitian.
A Hessian.
An Hessian, sorry.
It's okay.
Sorry.
Whatever she was running from, it's very possible that she was getting off that train because she didn't agree with the deal.
Well, she had the briefcase.
Mhm.
So Vailish, I'm kind of on your train of Skeeve and Janessa did a deal on the train. Skeeve did not cover their tracks very well. And everybody knew that Skeeve had something worth a lot of money. The money was clearly transferred. If the Mazers all of a sudden came into money, I wouldn't put it past the One-Eyed Kings to figure out where it was, or even a Costadine. That's why the Hessians were there.
I also gotta wonder if, based on, if Janessa said, don't let's get buried again, if the hope was that she was coming to recover the briefcase to expose it.
Yes.
Yes.
And that's why...
Probably-
Shit.
Probably exposing more of the paperwork than whatever the ink was, because I don't think she knew what that was.
Well, they couldn't even open it. They didn't know what was inside.
They didn't
Somebody
know No.
Somebody
in
had
the
to have
stuff
known.
in the stuff that you are seeing, Vailish, on the nets, in the marketing pitch essentially for this briefcase and the information that's putting out, they know at least, the Mazers know at least that it is from Icosodine. The Mazers know at least. And it's unclear how they knew this because, again, no one opened this briefcase before you did. You are 100% sure. They knew it contained high-level secrets about a project from a long time ago that was trying to be buried, and that would presumably be worth a lot of money to anyone who didn't have Icosodine's interest in mind.
There is no sense in what I have been able to dig up of where they got this from specifically.
Where they got the briefcase from?
Correct.
Not specifically. It's heavily implied. I mean, it's like they came into possession of this thing, right? Like, that's as much as they're saying.
I mean, Vail, and by extension Vailish, know that the Mazers deal is snatch and grab. Like we know this is their vibe. So, okay. Can I... We're getting stupid because it's late and Alondra has dumb ideas.
Let's go!
Can I try to cross-reference any sort of, like, police blotter reports of break-ins and snatch and grabs from within, like, a month prior to when this... when the first message about the briefcase, like, being for sale from the Mazers happens, and see if I see anything that matches?
You could do that if there were police. In this land of post-government services, it's mostly like private armies run by the corporations. If you want protection, you can get it from a gang.
Fair. Can I cross-reference that then to any of the gangs that I actually have access to any internal information from? Which, yeah, I'm happy to roll for this. I know it's going to be limited. Vail has varying levels of connections to the Jacks, to the Rovers, to the Frogger Scratch, and potentially, if other people are willing to assist, possibly to the Fairy Boys, or to... and I would, like, do a little, like, hackery bullshit to try to see if I could get anything from the Kings or the Mazers, recognizing that I don't have direct connections there.
This is why God gave us the connect skill. You want to give me let's switch it up. Wisdom and connect?
Sure, you just want to make me roll this flat, so I'll take it.
I do.
Hold on. We do have a advantage from earlier. Do we want to use it now because it's so late?
Burn it!
It is pretty late. You might as well.
Kill it.
Okay. Oh god, let me 3d6 KH1
2. KH.
2.
KH2. Sorry, I'm normally so much better at this, and I have it all prepped, and then I did not have this prepped. I'm double checking my.
It's all right. Once you have succeeded on this check, I'll ask you to remind me what you are checking for because I have lost the thread. What are you looking for again?
That's fine. I rolled a 9. What I am doing...
I think this is actually an 8. I don't think it kept the highest 2 because of the space.
Oh, yeah, it might not have. You're correct.
8 is still a basic success though, so you're good. What are you leaning on your connections for?
I am trying to search any gang connections that I have through any gang. Vail is not a member of a gang. Vail has affiliations and connections and has worked for several gangs.
Mm-hmm.
I am looking for within the month prior to the briefcase coming up for sale. I am looking for any like reports or information of like specific hits. I am like hits, thefts, etc. I am looking for any specific dialogues or interactions about how to identify this object. Like that's kind of what we go for. Again, in lieu of
Oh,
there being
sure.
there being a police like a centralized police
Yeah,
force,
yeah.
I am looking for like did somebody get hired for protection? Again, thinking like the One-Eyed Kings do mercenary work.
Right.
Did they have to file a report of like shit got fucked and the stuff got stolen? Like I'm kind of going through it and I'm just scanning and I'm
Yeah.
leveraging that I have certain deeper connections to some gangs than others. So
This is one where the absence of information is going to sort of paint a
yeah.
vague outline around the whole, where it's like it does not seem like the it doesn't seem like the mazers were specifically targeting anything. Like there's no like upswing of mazer activity. It does not seem as if the person who gets hit, like if this was like one person in a drive-on whose window is getting cracked, it does not seem like he filed a report anywhere that's immediately find outable, right? Like maybe buried deep somewhere. But if you had to guess, you'd think that he was either kidnapped himself along with the bag or just didn't survive the circumstances, right? Like the
Cool.
that seems like a very like not a loose end, a snipped end. Um,
Great.
there is nothing deeper there. I think while you're getting deep in the hours of subroutines into like mazer activities, you're able to sort of paint a map of like where mazer hits tend to happen on the maze. And again, it's not a thing that would be a big deal, except one of the locations where these hits tends to occur is a place that's going to stand out to two people in the party because they ran through that a building that was right next to it. That's Glitch and Eve, I believe. A lot of hits tend to happen outside that building that you jumped into the balcony of and then ran through. I think you stole a sweatshirt and a knife. Maybe you left the sweatshirt and just stole the knife.
um Vail is just going to kind of package this all in a quickly digestible form and like have it as a pop-up that's blinking on the screen that just says like open me with a little like ooh woo emoji raccoon face on it, so that whoever wanders by and goes Jesus fuck what now can click on it and get a little like quick summary of all of that.
Right on. So you all have that information now.
I found out that my parents live in the house that I grew up in and are still active and still work for Airsats Blue. But it seems like this address is going to be more fruitful than going down memory lane. Memory lane. Wow, I can speak.
Yeah, memories are certainly not the most pleasant thing in the world.
Yeah, we don't know what we're walking into if we go there, though.
That's true.
It's not going to be very much better at my house.
Do you all need to go to my mom's and like just have some like real like functional parental moments or something?
God, no.
I think that's a conversation for Vail. No offense, Vailish.
No, fair. I feel like everybody's having mommy and daddy issues, and like I also have my fair share of those, but I just feel like everybody's feeling really bad, so I wanted to offer.
Damn, this fucking thing really doesn't have a filter, do they? And that's saying something, knowing what we did about the trash can kid, right? Sorry.
Anyway,
Whatever we do, we need to make a decision.
Yes. Sam, what gang territory is Cal.
I thought you were gonna say, what's your decision? I'd be like, my vote is send one person alone. That would be great. Personally, I think that would be fantastic.
Send
Absolutely
me
not.
in.
I will slap your hand down.
Check it out. So this is interesting. Cal is sort of beyond the reach of any of the gangs. There's
I
something
am?
about there's something about there's something about Cal I was about to say, but now I'm realizing that phraseology might be a little personal. There's something about Cal that I haven't told any of you. There's something about Cal that's kind of buried in the wiki, which is that after it was bought out by Icos, after it got shut down and various corpos bought it out, for some corporate reason, CG&E decided they had the Consolidated Gas and Electric decided they had a grudge against it. So a lot of Cal is off the nets. There are still private nets that are connected through like wires and things, but the public nets don't work there. A lot of the people who are living in Cal like live there, but spend as much of their day as possible not there because a lot of things just don't work there anymore. All of which is to say, Cal is sort of a wasteland. Again, that sounds really personal. It's not. I apologize. Um, Cal is sort of a wasteland. Gangs don't really vie for there. The farthest north that gangs go is M10, and the gang that controls M10 is like the city council.
Sure. So we're not stepping on any toes rolling up in there.
Oh
Okay.
no.
Well, at least not any gang toes. It is not.
Sure.
We may be starting to step on actual corpo toes.
Fuck them.
I agree.
But it is a benefit that the nets don't work there.
Yeah.
Whatever we get up to will take longer to get to the mainland, for lack of a better term.
It is its own little island there, isn't it?
We can basically just walk in, too. Don't have to pretend to be somebody else. Well, besides the people we're already pretending to be, but, you know.
We all have our masks. So, time's a wasting. Do we take Ackroyd and go?
I think that's all we can do.
And I think we case the place a little bit before we decide how we're going in, because we don't know if this place is active anymore.
Sure.
And I, to your point, don't really feel like walking into something that is an unknown.
We've done that multiple times in the last several weeks, and it always turns out unpleasantly. Vailish, do you want to come with us?
Fine.
I mean, I'm gonna be way more effective if you can take me along and plug me in so that I can run subroutines on their net. Cal is I mean, I've got some connections there, but their connections are minimal, therefore my connections are minimal, and probably a lot of it is outdated information that was uploaded years ago. So, you know, if there's some way to, like, take me along, I can be more useful. I'm also gonna just point out you should so if you don't want to, I'll do it myself, but that might be kind of weird. I don't know how he's gonna handle it, but like if you contact Declan and ask him to keep an eye on the gang stuff, they'll make sure that you get updated info. I'm pretty sure they're already running interference with our mom, so they're also probably more than willing to just tell you what crazy gang shit's happening.
Heinrich is doing the same thing for me.
Good.
Oh, Heinrich.
Yeah. He's currently telling the rest of the Jacks that I am sick. Wait, you know Heinrich?
I feel like that. Oh, Heinrich. Yeah, there's like 1,000 words of subtext buried in that like 3-word sentence.
I mean, I know the names of like most of the folks who are associated to the gang because I'd keep a database. If we haven't been clear, like my whole purpose is to keep backups of everything that Vail has ever possibly once known or been told or whatever, because Vail knows that they're not going to remember anything past a certain point. So yeah, Heinrich's definitely a name that's in my database.
Sure.
We're not
yeah,
like friends or anything, because Vail doesn't have friends.
Yes, they do. Eve, you may want to reach out to Declan. I don't know them well enough to make that connection. I don't think any of the rest of us here do.
I'll send them a text.
He won't immediately respond, but it's red.
Fair enough.
He'll let you know. The logistics of installing Vailish to Ackroyd, if that is what we indeed wish to do, is actually very simple.
I wasn't thinking Ackroyd, I was thinking Reeves, but putting them into
Oh,
Ackroyd
sorry.
Yeah, I
Reeves,
was
sorry.
thinking-
I have said the wrong
I
name.
was
Reeves is
actually
the name I
thinking
No,
meant.
putting them into Ackroyd is better and funnier. No,
Ackroyd, I feel like is easy because that's literally just taking your computer tower deck and like putting it in the Winnebago and plugging it in. Reeves is trickier because Reeves isn't fully tricked out as a drone yet.
Right.
I will leap up to you where you want to put Vailish in one
No.
of those two locations or yet a third.
Reeves is more mobile, which I think is going to be better for our purposes.
So, when rules are
Knifey is getting upgraded.
when rules are required, we'll come to that. But the short version of it's going to be if Reeves gets near enough a wall to plug in, you can do all of your normal program stuff, all of your normal hacking stuff.
Purse Roomba it is.
Cursed Roomba. As you do I imagine Vail-ish, you're doing a lot of like talking them through how to do the upload yourself.
Yeah, if they express that this is what they want to do, then like absolutely, Vailish like literally pops up. It is tutorial Vailish, which is it looks like a children's computer game with a raccoon as the little host, and is doing a little like first you take the USB and you plug it into, and like has little like diagrams or whatever. They're very crudely drawn. Again, this is clearly one of Vail's like shitty self-programmed computer games, but there is like a tutorial step that you can follow.
It's like Jumpstart 5th grade, but installing someone onto someone else.
1000%.
Right on. So that is a process that can be done. Are there any other preparatory things you want to do before scoping the joint?
No, I got my drugs. I'm good.
You grab your drug
That's
bag.
usually
Yeah.
Vail's comment.
correct.
Technically, Eve has Vail's drugs too.
We technically we all have them because we're in Ackroyd. Laura's gonna look at everybody and go, if I have to do something incredibly stupid, I need you all to be okay with it.
No.
Which kind
That's
of
too damn bad.
which kind of stupid?
I think you know my kind of stupid.
If you think it's necessary. Look, we all have our own specializations, whatever those might be, and I'm going to have to trust that you won't pull the trigger or smash someone's head in with your fist unless you actually think it's necessary.
You do that one time. It's all anybody could ever talk about.
Keep pushing it, and I'll call you Lorelei Bone Smasher.
Right on. So, having emotionally prepared yourselves, perhaps to the best of your ability, you hop in the van and make your way down up to Cal for the first time as a group. Sticking together for one of the first times as a group. Cal is an area of 2 to 3 story buildings with the occasional giant interspersed amongst them leering down. It's mostly dormitory style housing built for students who will never return to this place, now rented to the corporate drones who glut every part of Sil East. Insufficient streets are turgid with drive-ons taking people from one place to another, mostly people trying to spend most of the day not there. Empty storefronts with shuttered windows, Krask billboards glowing down green over the gray with promises of healthful dietary supplements, the odd punk spray painting an alley. That's the scene as you're arriving at the intersection of Cager and Haste. You can see the building. You can see the stairs sort of leading down in the alley next to the building that was indicated to you as the route that Heinrich and others took with Lorelei's brother, Kieran. What does casing the giant look like exactly?
Well, I think the first thing that we'll want to do is do a drive-by of like the block as much as possible. No, not a drive-by shooting. I saw that expression.
We have different definitions of what a drive-by constitutes. Sorry.
Abe's like, I'm ready, boss. Put me in.
Put me in, coach. I'm here.
I thought I was Skip, not Coach.
Coach,
You're-
Skip,
We
Captain
were all the
Kane.
lead
Yeah.
names.
I've compiled a database of all of the general names for leadership roles in a variety of settings, if you would like them printed out for your personal reference.
Okay, wait. I gotta ask. Vailish, in robotic form, have you attached a speaker to the robot? Is this like text that's coming out across the face of the Roomba here?
That is a question for the group. Did you like link up the fucking little Bluetooth speakers onto
Or are you
Reeves,
only-
or is it like a little like iPad display situation?
The other option is you can only talk through either Glitch or Lorelei's eye, right? Like,
Ha!
Oh, if we do that, I'm gonna absolutely have to be messaging someone, and they're gonna have to suffer.
That was not the body horror I was expecting today, but here we are.
I've
I
already
mean-
done it to DB1.
And I would let you do it again. Wink? I don't know.
Wow.
Hey,
No,
you know.
I think for ease of communicating with the whole group, it would be the speaker hooked in.
great. So Vailish's voice comes through tinnily. You can also short range radio communication, whatever, if you need to. You could probably like page them if you needed to into the pagers that everyone's carrying around with them. I'm hearing that the first type of drive-by is happening. Drive-by in the first degree, let's call it. Are we just looking out the windows here? Is that the lay of the land? Anything in your particular that you are looking for or at as you're coasting slowly as you must down the street amongst the horde of drive-ons?
Anybody that looks suspicious or like looks like they're trying to make sure that no one is noticing them walking into like a building.
Okay. I'm gonna ask at the end of this. I'm gonna ask everyone for a notice check, but the check is easier if you're looking for specific things, and those things are there.
I mean, I'm mostly trying to get a little bit of the vibe of the place. Like, are there people around? Is this area like you said that most people who live in Cal try to be elsewhere? So if we've come at a time when people would be at work or in their VR headsets or whatever, are there people around? Are there drive-ons? What do the streets look like? Also, are there piles of trash everywhere? Does this look like an actual fucking wasteland, or does it look weirdly clean, which is a different kind of question?
Oh yeah, sorry, I should say cultural wasteland. I will have everyone who's looking out drop me it's wisdom notice unless there's a specific skill that you think is more relevant to how you want to be looking around,
I'm specifically looking for two things: back entrances to this particular building that don't have a lot of direct line of sight from the street, so any alleyways. And then I'm also looking for plug-in points, electronic doors, anything that seems like it's more security than should be in this area.
Yeah. All right, roll me down them rolls. Let's see what we're looking at here. Fuck.
Jesus.
It's almost as if you are highly motivated to succeed at this thing. For
Jesus
those of you
Christ.
following along at home, Abe has rolled a 12, Glitch has rolled a 12, Eve has rolled a 12, and Lore has rolled the lowest at a 9.
In fairness, it's -1 for notice, so it's 11 for Abe.
In fairness, I rolled double sixes because I have nothing in wisdom or notice. I'm shocked that I got that.
I am worried about my brother. We'll just say that's why it's the lowest. I'm trying to stop myself from just running into this building.
And again, to be clear, 9 is still a good number, right? Like the
Sure.
default difficulty is 8. If you'd rolled like a 5, that would be distracted. You're distracted, but you're still focused in. So let me tell you some things. Thing number 1. The building above this staircase leading down, right? Like the staircase leading down is what we know about. It's in the alley. It's mostly tucked out of view of the street. Basically, at any time of day, if you wanted to, you could surreptitiously slip down those stairs with a modicum of work and just paying attention to the flow of the traffic. The building, the floor above it, seems to be one of these abandoned storefronts. There's no one going in or out as you're moving past. Um, there's no lights on there. There doesn't seem to be any other doors. Like maybe if you went into the abandoned building, there'd be like a trap door leading down, but that's not normal Eve like cowl infrastructure, right? Like that's not normally how basements would work here. So you do think that that staircase is probably alarmingly the only point of egress or ingress. Um, in terms of suspicious people watching the entrance or anything like that, no, not really. It seems pretty quiet. Um, the steps down themselves, they don't look wholly disused. There's a fair amount in Cal of like street animals, stray cats, large rats, that sort of thing, moving around. That's true of Berkeley today, at least the cats part.
And raccoons.
And raccoons. I was going to say that because of reasons. But yeah, also raccoons. Um, the so you do think that animals sometimes go up and down these stairs? Like you're seeing like small footprints, kind of things like that. Um, the door at the bottom of the stairs isn't closed; it's kind of ajar. And to that point, there aren't plugins, at least on the exterior of the building. The downstairs door is open, so you could basically waltz in if you wanted to. The building itself is abandoned enough that it doesn't seem to be connected to the main CG&E power grid anymore, except, oh, I'm giving this one to Eve. Eve's 12. You can see that there is a tap on a power line that is running down surreptitiously into the basement. You would surmise it's hidden out of sight. It's behind like a dumpster. You would surmise that quite a bit of power is being siphoned into this basement just by the number of cords that are bundled as part of this tap.
Well, there's certainly someone in there. At least someone drawing power.
You want me to fuck with that?
Do we go in chaotic, or do we need to...
We don't know what we're walking into if we go in chaotic.
I don't think we'll know unless we go in. That's the only entrance.
Yeah, but I'm wondering, do we go in chaotic, or do we try to sneak in?
If we shut off the power, Vailish, that's chaotic to me.
I didn't say
Shit's
shut
gonna
off the
happen.
power. I'm just saying if you tap me in, maybe I can figure out what's down there.
The power line, from what you are seeing with this 12, you're pretty sure it's not internet. You're pretty sure that it's not connected to any sort of nets. It is literally just electricity. So your options are a little bit more binary with this one, like leave it on or just literally like slice it, cut it off.
We could turn off the power and see who comes out. But I worry that if anyone is on any kind of machine, we're potentially turning off life support.
Analytically speaking, better to keep the power on and go do some recon, but know that this is here, so that if you go peek in and they're powering, I don't know, a bunch of just like, I don't know, robotic kaiju, you can just come back up and turn it off. Sorry, was that an old school reference? Kaiju is like an old
No,
term for
no.
monsters.
I understood that reference. I got you.
We don't have a lot of choices, right? So let's go have a look-see.
We could play dumb.
That's not hard for us.
I do a very good dumb.
And so you descend the stairs
Quietly. As quietly as possible.
quietly.
With our purse Roomba.
Boom.
Yeah, well,
Right. Vail's worst enemy at this juncture is a staircase, and that is what you are confronted with.
like
presently.
the Daleks.
Are you guys actually just like, is this just Reeves with a USB taped where the knife used to be? You guys are just like holding them?
Yep.
Yes, Eve is holding Reeves.
You make your way down the staircase. Again, like everything upstairs is ruined. The staircase is fairly in decently working order. You go down to where the door is ajar. Beyond the door is darkness. If they are drawing power, you can see the power line sort of snaking down the hallway underneath. If they're drawing power, they're certainly not using it to light this first hallway. And if you're just going to walk down it pretty quickly as it goes around a corner, it's going to be black.
I'd bet money that Abe has a flashlight.
Abe has one better. He has night vision infrared goggles.
Good.
That
Good. Take
thankfully
point.
weren't stolen by the hooligans that waylaid him a couple of episodes back. So yeah, he's packing. He's loaded for bear. What you need me to seek out, Skip?
I think most of what we're looking for right now is where is all this power going, and is there someone who's nearby that?
You go out ahead. Yeah, absolutely. I recognize you're a little overtime, so we're going to bring us up towards a cliffhanger here. You go down the stairs, you turn the corner. Down these stairs, there is a rank and fecal smell like animals have been living here. You've already rolled a 12 on noticing things, so I'm going to tell you a couple of things. One is you've been through a lot of shit, Abe. What you are seeing between the door at the end of this hallway and your present position around 30 feet down from it is that most mechanical, old school of traps, a tripwire near in front of the door. You spot it pretty immediately. Between it and the door, kind of clustered around the door itself, are a number of dead rats, perhaps somewhat causing the smell. And on the metal door, painted, the words "Do not enter," painted red.
Well, that's
not
funny
the cliffhanger.
because
Keep
I
us going.
can't read. So no, Abe can read. Memes. Anyways, yeah, that's concerning. But also, I think an indication of where we need to go on next.
Still not the cliffhanger yet. What are you doing, Ray?
Wait, so there's a tripwire, right?
Yeah.
I mean, look, Abe's been in the army. Abe knows how to survive, owing to the +1 in the survive skill. Unless there's one more appropriate for trap disarming.
No, that's
I think
right and
so.
proper. Yeah.
And I think through the wisdom of years and years and years of being on both sides of a well, we'll shelve that for now. But owing to the decades of experience with such improvised devices, yeah, he goes to disarm the thing, right?
Would you do me the inestimable favor of giving me a wisdom and survival roll?
I would be absolutely chuffed as a British people,
So I just looked at your bonus. That's why I made that sound.
right? And so that's a 2d6 plus, I want to say 4.
Yeah, +4 sort of breaks the curve on a game where the default difficulty is 8.
But it's only a 9,
It's
actually.
only a 9. It's not like this is a very yeah, only a 9. It's not like this is a very advanced trap though. As you are tinkering with the tripwire, you can kind of trace it back. It goes beyond the door, right? Like there is a cable that runs through a hole in the wall. This tripwire sort of goes along that cable in the hole of the wall. You think maybe with that 9 that the electricity, like there's a branch off into the door somewhere. Again, there's nowhere to plug into the door. None of those things that Vail likes so much. But the door does seem to be maybe drawing some electricity for some reason. The tripwire seems unrelated. The tripwire is going past the door into whatever rooms are beyond.
I mean, look, I'm just here to observe. I'm not calling the shots here. So Abe relays all that information to the group at large and sees how they would like to proceed.
The door is electrified?
Yeah. Yeah, we used to have fences like these back
Whoa.
east.
They're pulling a lot of power to electrify this door, too.
Do you think all of that power is going to the door?
I would hope not.
I cannot imagine that it's all
Oh,
going to the door.
Hi.
Yeah, that would be a lot of power going into a door. Hi, Lore.
Hi.
Hi.
My previous job was with the power company. Could I
Yes.
tell, like, how much of this is being pulled?
There is an incredible amount of power being pulled to this place. Not like the strength of 1,000 suns power, but certainly like running an entire underground lab amount of power is being pulled to this place. It is
Yeah.
not all being pulled into the door.
I didn't
Right.
think so.
Right. If it was all being pulled into the door and those rats touched it, we wouldn't have dead rats. We would have piles of ashes.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Is there a way for me, previous life, Lorelei, to try and turn off just the electrified door?
Ooh.
Yes, I think there would be. Can you give me an intelligence and maybe this is also survive, unless there's a skill that you think is more appropriate to turning off the electricity in a door? I won't make you
no.
roll work.
Please don't. Apparently I was bad at my job because I have 0 work.
That's why you
Um,
guys aren't working anymore. If you had +2
correct.
in work, you would be literally working. This wouldn't be the game, right?
I think survive makes sense.
Unless
Which
you have better
means-
in fix.
I do not.
Just putting it out there.
I could talk to it.
Hey, Door. Hey,
know.
Door.
Hey,
Hey.
door, sup?
I'm feeling
Hey.
a current between us.
I would love to see that roll, Lore.
I'm working on it. Oh, fuck. 6.
So, I've got good news and I've got bad news. The good news is cutting this wire, you're not going to like fry yourself. You are not that degree of incompetent. The bad news is the power inside is definitely going to flicker as you fuck around with this wire. And all of China knows you're here. Let's
Well,
end the session there.
PSA.
Unless you've got a one-liner you'd like to drop
No,
in.
this is literally finish up, and I have a PSA for everybody.
Yeah, as the lights or whatever's going on beyond this door flickers, as the door itself remains mostly electrified. Maybe you get a second where you can push it open, but you are definitely like the stealth is blown. They know that someone's on the other side of that door. And how they react to that, we will find out next week.
Cool beans.
Give
so,
us your
PSA.
PSA, DB.
I love everybody. Please do not touch down power lines. I don't think I should have to say this, but you would be surprised. You don't know if they're energized or not. Don't touch them.
We live where and when we do, DB. I'm not surprised at anything anymore.
This is the DB PSA music, public service announcement music now.
This has been a public service announcement
Ooh.
from DB.
Damn, Cal, that was so good. I thought that there were words coming through my music right there. Like I wasn't looking at the faces. I was like, oh fuck, there's words on this track.
Hey, if you know anybody who needs a public service announcer voice, hit me up.
I was gonna say, several people on this call professionally provide voiceover services. So if you know someone who needs someone, say something.
If you need something, say something.
You know, you're willing to give some young upstart a leg up? I mean, what? No.
None of us are young, my friend.
Yeesh.
I'm gonna live forever. What
Oh,
are
I was gonna go on the riff of a leg or an arm or a...
Yeah.
A foot's acceptable. Okay, well, is there anything else you would like to add, Sam, before I take us out?
Nope, that's our session.
Thank you all so much for being here for this week's episode of Midnight in the Garden of Chrome and Fog. We made it through despite all of the technical issues, and thank you all so much to my wonderful fellow players, our amazing GM, and to you, our beloved audience, for being here for this story. Yeah, we will return next week with more of this. We are getting very close to the end of this season. Very, very close to the end of this season. So, keep an eye out for everything going on. So I'm going to go rest my voice after all the horrible things that I just did to it. Thank you all so much for being here. And until we meet again, I hope that your journey back through the mushroom circles is as calm and as peaceful as it is possible to be. And until we meet again, stay safe, stay healthy, and we'll see you all very soon. We're going to write out to Jenna's online, tell her that the raccoon says hello. Good night, everyone.